welcome, and today we are going to show you the Pep and City treble winning season tactic. Now, I've seen this done before by a lot of people, but they set it up very much 3-2-3-1 or whatever way you want to set it up. 3-2-3-2, 3-2-4-1, you know what I mean, it doesn't matter. But they set it up that way so you're already in shape, but that's not the way it's done. The way to do it is so it starts off in the actual correct shape and you can transition and move it. I'm not saying what they did was wrong, I've never tried their tactic before, but I've actually done it a way where you can actually do it properly. You can move through and you can see them do it. So let me start there. I'm going to show you a quick highlight here as well. So as you can see over here, we're going to set it up very normally. You can see Ake starts with the ball and they throw it. You will already see now we've got the ball. You see Stones wanting to move forward. He steps in, but he stays in that back line. You can see already we're there at 4 at the back. As soon as he gets the ball, he drives straight into midfield to drawing Rodri with the ball, and then now all of a sudden you've got that shape. You've got Walker out wide there as well, and then he's kind of creating that free back with Ake on the other side as well. You've got, obviously now you can see 3-2. There's a line of 4. Grealish just hidden off the screen down here at the bottom, but they've done it. You can see Stones moving in and out of position depending on if you're about to lose the ball. That's the key. When the ball's actually towards our own third, he sits back. He kind of drifts automatically back there, but he just joins it the higher up the pitch. He's very key to this formation, of course. He did this obviously in the Champions League final and everything as well, but you see him here, look, coming straight away to join over. He gets the ball and I think he becomes a little bit wild here, but look at the amount of bodies around the box. This is the way to do it. I don't know how else you want to be able to do it. Stones will join it as soon as you get the possession. He will then start to play. You can move the ball around. You can see the width there as well. The key to it is you need to make sure your wingers are very wide. They'll create the space and then everybody else drives into it. But that is it. Let me head over and show you some of the stats of the season. And these are the stats to start with in terms of attacking. As you can see, 22.3 dribbles per game, There's also 22 shots per game. 3.37 goals per game, and there were some absolute blitzings. There was a couple dodgy results, but I'll show you them in just a moment. In terms of goals conceded, 0.97, so less than a goal a game. Obviously, just look at the averages, it's just way better for this team as well. Absolutely unbelievable. Some of the general stuff as well, 88.6% in terms of pass completion, obviously a lot higher. It's just a very much a lovely tactic. Now when we look at some of the results, as I told you, there's a few dodgy ones, but we'll start out here. Look at the way it started. 7-0 early in the season, 4-1s away. Look at the green, so much green all the way down here, absolutely having fun, killing it. And then don't get our first loss all the way down here until here. Yes, a couple of dodgy draws, the 3-3 away here as well, kind of just let it all fall apart. But with actual management, I think you'll be able to dominate through that game. Obviously we just skipped through them, and here you can see here these two dodgy results. Again, proper management throughout a game, I'm pretty sure you will go on and win them games and go unbeaten. And then there's a final loss here to Tottenham, but City always lose to Tottenham, so what do you want me to do? And now beating Chelsea and beating Inter, is that not the treble? Didn't they beat Chelsea in the final? Comment down below. I'm pretty sure they beat Chelsea in the final of the FA Cup as well. It's as real as it gets. What more can I do for you? As you can see here, we absolutely won it all as told, as promised. We did one better than the treble, just saying. I'm not saying I'm better than Pep, but I'm just saying the proof's in the pudding. But we're going to move on. As you can see, won it here, 99 points, 128 goals scored. Obviously the 37 conceded, which is actually second best in the league. Arsenal, scumbags. But either way, you can see it here. The 3 dodgy draws. Wait, it's Liverpool, and then the 3 random losses as well. But besides that, tactics aren't perfect. If they're perfect, they're not real. Just know that as well. I'll show you it as it is. This is the way it is. But the part you're waiting for, the part you want, is the tactic. Let's get over to it. Now here we go. Here is the tactic, and now you can see it's almost set up in like this Christmas tree style formation. It's 4-1-2-2-1 or a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1, whatever way you want to call it, it doesn't matter. But that is how we set up, because defensively we want to make sure either these two, if they've overcommitted, these two will be close enough to come back to create a 3 in midfield, or you've already got your 3 and these will drift in, almost defending a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1, just like Pep does in real life. But there's a constant press. As you can see, there's not really much pressure to get blitzed out wide, but we already saw it going forward. Now going forward, we want to be able to create this where John Stones has space, he drives into here, and there we go. All of a sudden, you got your three at the back. These two do sit naturally a little bit wider, but also still narrow enough when the ball's on the other side to cover them spaces. But that's why you got Roger and an anchor. These two here, they don't start here. A lot of people start them here, but that's not the key. The key is to start them here because, as Grealish even said in real life, at times he picks the ball up almost in left wing back. He almost picks the ball up down here. He has to drive up all that space and make sure he does it. And the results in terms of their stats prove all of that. And I'll quickly show you their stats actually, because let me quickly show you these stats. Now have a little ganders at these stats. These stats are absolutely crazy. I will get back to the instructions, sorry, in just a second so you can see. But let me quickly show you Haaland, 93 goals. Obviously this formation is very much directed to him being the final point and the finishing point. Obviously there's a 20 goals plus kind of here 18 goals, but it's not kind of spread out everywhere. But he is the main point to this. It's feeding the striker, so your striker does need to be prolific. He is going to get you goals if you do that as well. And obviously look at the assists, 39 here from Bernardo out wide, 17 from Jack, and then you've got 31, 20 from your midfielders. But the key one here, look at that, 13 goals, 18 assists from centre back. This tactic that worked here. This works an absolute treat. I was actually surprised about how well it worked. But let me head back over to it. I won't bore you too much with all of that. I'll head back to the tactic. And anyway, back to the tactic. So obviously this is how you set it up. We want it to be able to end up very much like this, if it lets me, into the middle, and he will step up here. As I said, this is the formation. A lot of people set up like this. They don't actually sit as narrow as you truly believe if you go back and watch it, because occasionally they do offer width here as well, which is why he's on an anchor. It's very intelligent. You do need to make sure the players are quite smart. You need to use a lot of stuff like that, but generally this works a lot of the way. So this is how you attack. Obviously it's a very much dominant thing, so you probably won't be able to use this with a smaller team unless you can kind of grow that team into it. But you won't get destroyed as much as if you set up like this, because you start off with 4 at the back. As you saw in the clips, they defend 4 back to start with and then grow into this shape. That is how it works in real life. That is what creates space, blah 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 blah. I won't bore you with it all as well, but as we know, we want the tactic to be exactly like this. So let me show you. So we need the tactic just like that. So he starts a deep line playmaker, or you can use him as an anchor depending on your team. I have tried both, not gonna lie to you, I've kind of gone more with deep line playmaker a lot of the time, but it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. I can tell you that now as well. So this is the shape, this is how we are attacking to play very wide, just as wide as you can get, work the ball into the box and play out from defense, much shorter and then slightly higher tempo. That is the key starting point. If you're kind of dominating a game and you're just blitzing the team, you can actually up it, or if you're chasing a game here, or if you want to see it out against a bigger team, just drop the pace down a little bit and go a little slower. You will then keep the ball. It's almost like a time wasting version. You want to, obviously I said, work the ball into the box, run the defense, be more disciplined. Every Pep team is disciplined. It doesn't mean that your players are going to just stay there, but what it allows it to do, it transitions from attack to defense. You've already got an overload. Your players don't need to be flying everywhere and doing it all. They kind of move up, as you saw already, in such a perfect shape. You want them to remain disciplined. Don't worry about it. Be more disciplined. Moving over here as well, in transition, very simple. Counter press, counter, distribute back line, roll it out. And here as well, much higher line, as pretty much as high as you get, and the highest defensive line that you can get. Prevent goalkeeper, trigger press much more often, and step up more, as you can see. I didn't actually use any sort of instructions on the players. I felt like it kind of overcomplicated it, and as you saw, worked absolutely perfectly. In bigger games, definitely do use it as an anchor. It will just allow you just to move a lot more fluid, but a lot of the time you can simply just do it as a deep line playmaker in most games. Make sure you play around with it, but using that and managing it properly, I promise you, you will dominate. Comment down below if you want to use any other different one, if there's anything you've seen or you want me to try out. Name a manager, name a tactic, fire it below. Also name any challenges, and make sure you come over to the Discord, you subscribe to the channel, share the Discord, share the channel, like the video, all that good stuff, because it helps so much. And guess what? I'll see you in the next one.